In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Genius Brain Podcast.
Woo!
OG Cast today with me and Joe Jitsukawa, talking about some bullshit. How's everybody's week? How's everybody been?
Howdy do, mother people.
You guys shot the pilot to Danger Boys.
Yeah, man. 5 days, nonstop, 5 a.m. to 6 p.m.
You guys, is this a film or is this a episodic?
So this is a series. You got $5 coming out of you, like.
Oh, dude.
You got money. You got money just flying out of your body like it's fucking spit.
I can't help it.
Yeah, it's it's kind of a pilot.
Okay.
You know, what we plan to do is shout outs to my buddy Kelly. She sold a few projects to Netflix, and she's gonna kind of shop it around, and we're gonna see what happens. Our first goal is to get it someone funded, like a big like Netflix or whoever to buy it.
Yeah.
And then produce the rest of the episodes.
Yeah.
That's strategy number one, you know. Strategy number two is we just finish it all on our own, and then we just hit the market with it.
What type of series is it?
Like it's short, like it's like a 22-minute. It's not like long form TV.
Okay.
So it's like Reno 911, like that kind of format.
So it's like a mockumentary kind of thing.
Oh yeah, it's a mockumentary. Oh yeah, so the concept is we follow the least dangerous gang of the San Gabriel Valley.
Okay. Okay.
The world's least dangerous gang. Yeah. So imagine the guys that we grew up with like in the 90s and in the early 2000s that are like hella thug, right?
Yeah.
So it's like we know these guys, but then imagine if they never let go of that thug life.
Oh man, I actually know a couple of people like that.
And then because that was their that was their heyday, you know?
Yeah.
And then but they're like halfway thugs.
Yeah.
So imagine like living today and trying to navigate with that mentality.
Yeah. You know what the funny thing is, like I think even now I know a couple people like that who just live in that weird time capsule.
Oh yeah.
They still, well, I have one friend who it's because he went to the military when he was 18.
Oh, so he just kind of time just stopped. And then he left to the military and he came back and then
exactly. So whatever he was left with at that time, his clothing, the way that he speaks, his mannerism, what he wants to do is everything is exactly the same since we were 18 years old. So funny enough, Mariel got to meet this guy when he came and visited from Sacramento because I guess he got stationed back in California. And so he was like, yo, like I'm gonna be in LA, let's kick it. And then I had to give her a heads up. I was like, hey, when you meet this guy, just don't judge me based on what he does. But these are the type of people I used to hang out with, you know? So like the first thing he does when he comes up, and we're in K-Town, by the way. And, back in the day, like using the N-word was cool.
Yeah.
But he lives in a time capsule.
Yeah.
So he comes up, he goes, what's up, my nigga? I'm like, oh, dog. Like, let's just,
wow.
Like he did come with like, I guess like him and a couple of our other friends, and they're black. So it's just like, but even then, the times are different.
Yeah, it is.
But he's just screaming it at the top of his fucking
lungs.
No.
No.
And I'm like, yo, dog, like we don't use that word anymore like that, especially out in public, you know? And so for him, he just never really changed to the way, how he drinks, how he talks, the way he dresses.
Yeah.
That fool dressed like he just got out of prison. like I'm talking about like the baggy, like South Pole jeans and fucking shit like that. Yeah. But it's weird though, like when there's definitely a few people who just kind of live in their past and they don't move on.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Yeah, and this story is literally about that, you know? Like kind of guys that like they just want to be hard. And it's like, really, what is it to be a man in 2019? Like this whole idea of masculinity, it's so it's weird now, you know? Like I almost feel like there is no manuscript, or it's not as easy as it used to be. Like before, it's like, oh, if you're a badass, or if you're like some hero, or you're like some like tough guy, like, oh, you're manly, you know?
Yeah.
But now it's different. There's so many different ways to express being a man and shit. So
yeah, I think when I was younger too, there's a lot of things that I wish I would have done earlier, but I didn't because all the boys would say some pussy shit.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I'm afraid everyone's gonna call me gay.
Yeah, so I didn't join choir for the longest time because
what?
Of that. Yeah, which is so fucking dumb because
that's what gets the ladies, bro.
Exactly. So like I didn't join choir. I wanted to join theater in high school, but then I didn't want to be put as like a theater geek or maybe even get bullied. There's just like these weird things that I thought, where I look back now, if I was a stronger individual, I would have just done what I wanted and liked, because I did that during my senior year of high school.
Wow.
And it was the best year that I had, because I was like, fuck it, I'm not going to be here anyways.
Yeah.
Joined choir, did whatever I wanted.
Did you even get picked on?
I mean, I never really got picked on in high school.
But did they talk shit to you for joining those things?
For sure, dude.
Really?
But I think the good thing is, like, around that time, like, I used to jump around different groups.
Yeah.
So there was a certain group that, you know, was very supportive of it.
Yeah.
They're just, you know, oh, you can sing, you can do all this other stuff, you could play music, and it was great. And those are the friends that I still have today. But, you know, some of the other homies thought it was pretty fucking gay.
Yeah.
And they would always crack jokes and make me feel weird about it and shit.
Yeah.
But, you know, when I was 18, I was like, you know what, I'm going to leave too. I'm going to college. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to see these fuckers anyway. So I'll just bounce and move on. So I just did whatever I wanted. I was really happy.
I was too lazy, man. I saw a school play and I was like, that's tight. And I wanted to join TV. I wanted to join all those things. And then the only thing I did join was the mechanic. We had an auto shop at our school.
Oh, we had that too at our high school.
Yeah, so like it was like what was it, like 7th period or whatever? Like after school is that 6th period?
Yeah.
You know how it's like
Yeah,
you get that extra one. I took it then, but I was so damn tired. I would just sleep in class all day. I didn't learn shit about cars. But people would tell me like, oh, you just got to sign up to this, and then you could go and you could be a part of the theater group, or like you could be a part of the golf club or whatever. And I'm like, all right, and I never got around to doing it. So I think my laziness fucked me up, dude.
Yeah, and I also wanted to join home ec, and I never did home ec.
Oh, that seemed fun because everyone was like baking shit.
Yeah. You know, but then, you know, people play some female shit, or, you know, some.
But it's a good way to meet girls, man.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't really think about that shit.
Oh.
You know, but that little sense of masculinity has changed so much now, because now there's like phrases like toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Which is like thrown around a lot now. Because I don't even know if people can say openly like, hey, man up. I think people get mad at that shit now.
Really?
If you say like, yo, man the fuck up. They're like, oh, what is that supposed to mean? What do you mean, man up?
I still say, I don't care if people, I'm like, man, quit being a bitch. Like, because guys and girls can both be bitches.
Yeah.
You know, to me, it doesn't mean like you're a girl or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's like a coward is what it is.
Yeah.
It just sounds better.
It does, dude.
I don't, who calls anyone coward? That's like a 1940s diss. You goddamn coward.
Yeah, scallywag.
Yeah. Like, who says coward? Like, I'd rather say bitch. It just feels better.
Dude, yeah. And then, yeah, I don't know, man. Oh, you know what I found out recently too? Fucking speaking of high school, so if anybody has done like kendama before, you know,
I remember kendama.
you know,
yeah.
and you know how it evolved and got really crazy.
Yeah.
People started doing all these crazy tricks with it. Well, there's this guy in my high school that was in my class named Dave Mateo. Dave Mateo was like a pioneer for this shit. He started incorporating dance moves and all this other shit. And he was like one of the top kendama people in the world. I found out yesterday that he actually killed himself. He committed suicide.
No fucking way.
Fucking crazy, man. And the crazy thing is, and I think the saddest part about it is that, you know, there's not many people in Sacramento that gets known for doing some kind of crazy art.
Yeah.
You know, and he was one of the few that did. I mean, it was kendama, and, you know, it's very niche, but he was at the top of whatever, you know, whatever he was doing. And I think when people see that, they go, oh, well, he's so dope. Why would he fucking kill us? I think he had a wife and a kid too. Which is insane.
This is recently?
This was like a couple days ago.
Oh, my other friend killed himself over the weekend too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn, dude, that's so fucking crazy.
Yeah, he hung himself. Yeah.
Damn, he did it the OG way, dude.
Yeah, no one really, I mean, he still lived at home with his sister and his parents, and he's my age. He's in his 30s.
Oh shit, he's fucking young, dude.
Yeah. And I mean, Ant was posting about it. Ant's closer to him than I was.
Yeah.
And I think they went to like junior high or whatever, but he was letting me know first thing in the morning too.
Oh, shit.
And we were cool. But I wasn't that close the way he was.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they had this whole big group of friends. They were like 40 deep. They've been friends since like, yeah, it's almost like their whole class were friends from like junior high to high school and college. And I remember when we went to Vegas, man, these guys, I felt like they were a party bus by themselves. Yeah. Like they just rolled deep and in this party group, you know, they're always awesome. And then this guy was like, you know, we will always play poker together, hang out, really cool guy. And then, you know, I would never expect him to do something like this. So it's just kind of shocking that people you never know what's going on in their minds, and then this kind of stuff happens.
Yeah, because Dave specifically, I mean, Dave was a crazy motherfucker, man. Like, I remember Dave Mateo, he used to, like, in class, this motherfucker would just start doing backflips.
Wow.
He was hyper athletic, right? He was just a very athletically talented dude. He could dance. The motherfucker could play the guitar like none other, and he picked it up super late in high school, even later than I did, and he was way better than me. Tennis, he was really great at tennis. He could dance. He was a part of the Sacramento b-boy group called Underground Flow, and actually two of their friends from high school, they actually they dance in Kinjas.
Oh, what?
So Michael and Steven.
There's a lot of dancers from Sacramento, huh?
But dude, dance was huge in Sacramento, man.
Like Dietrich is out there,
dude,
right?
Phil Tyak from the Jabberwockies.
Yeah. Victor Kim.
Germ Beats and John Street from the Stereotypes. Well, they're not dancers, but they're producers.
Our boy Vince.
Oh, Vince,
B-boy Vince.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, dance and art is pretty big in Sacramento.
Yeah.
And so whenever I hear somebody who from my hometown that has done something with it and made it into a career, it's very nice to hear, especially because a majority of people in Sacramento, they're actually state workers. Like,
oh yeah, because it's the state capital. Yeah, so like, I mean, everyone's politics or farms, right?
Dude, I think it's like 70%, or it was like a ridiculous number, work for the fucking state. So remember when we went into that huge recession and shit?
Yeah, a
shit ton of state workers got let off, got fired.
Oh, what? I thought the government would be like the last place that runs out of money.
Oh, it's because like California was bankrupt or some shit. So the state was bankrupt or something, and a whole bunch of state workers lost their jobs, and there was like these tent nations that were being put up in Sacramento.
Of just politicians and shit. Homeless politicians.
Bunch of just like state workers too. So, whether you're working for like the water department, electric or whatever, there was just a lot of employees that lost their jobs. And so when I hear, and because that's what a majority of people do, not to knock on them, but just, just to see somebody go outside of that, it's pretty cool. And then Dave too. Dave was just like that super like Rasta dude. Just about love and peace. I think he was a vegan too. I think he had a wife and kid, and you would have thought that he had a lot.
He's the kendama guy?
Yeah, he's a kendama guy.
Damn.
Yeah, and anybody who does kendama, if I say Dave Mateo, they know who the fuck that is.
It's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, he's a pretty big deal in the kendama world, which I didn't really know about because I don't really look into kendama like that.
Is he white?
Nah, he's Filipino.
Oh, I was just thinking that because I remember seeing some shit recently about the number one like unnatural way of dying for white males right now is suicide.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and addiction to painkillers.
Damn.
Like, so those are the two things that like middle-aged white males that are I guess it's just an epidemic, man.
I was thinking about this the other day too, especially because of this recent talk about suicide. I wonder what it is that causes people to really get into that, because I've never had those thoughts, so I don't really know. And I had a podcast recently with Kat from Kat Sweets and Bakery, where she was talking about,
was she here?
Yeah, she was here. I interviewed her because of some of the stuff that she went through, which will be on the podcast. But I don't know what gets somebody to that point, and I'm starting to think, like, have people just throughout history committed suicide a lot and it just wasn't recorded, or people didn't openly talk about it, or is this something that's been happening more recently?
Yeah, that's interesting, because I know in Japanese culture, suicide wasn't, I mean, it's bad, but it's not the way it is in America. Yeah. I think with the Judeo-Christian values, suicide is almost like murder. Yeah. Because it's illegal, it's sin, right? So if you kill yourself, you're basically committing murder. Yeah. But it's not the same in Japanese culture. Yeah. So it was actually an honorable way to go if you made a mistake. And it's like, well, how sorry are you? And it's like, I'm really sorry. This is how sorry I am.
It's like the I'm sorry Olympics.
Yeah,
like,
it's like
sorry, I'm most sorry.
Dude, people, like, let's say like if you had a son, you're a general, right? Yeah. And your son's a captain or whatever, and then he went out and he lost a battle, he would literally just fucking do seppuku. He would kill he would go in front of the whole army, fucking say, "My bad, Dad," and then he would fucking spill his guts, literally.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, so there's a lot of incidences like that, and nowadays that's why it's like the seppuku culture, right? Where it's like you hear these stories, and right now Japan and Korea is, I think, competing versus like on who's got the highest suicide rate. Yeah. But that's why it's so common in Japan, where it's like, oh fuck, I fucked up this test. Oh well, let's hit that reset button. Yeah. and then they'll hit that reset button, and they believe in reincarnation, so they'll just come back anyway. So, but it's not honorable, you know, like like if you commit suicide or whatever, like the whole family will be upset and sad and all that. But they also is like, it's more like, hey, I'm a burden. I'm sorry for causing so much shit. Like, let me do my restart button. Yeah. So in that sense, I think it might be a cultural way, but I don't think it's a naturally human thing to do it.
Yeah. Was your buddy just seemingly okay on the outside? Like everything seemed pretty cool?
I haven't seen him in ages. I mean, recently I've seen him like at a wedding just once in passing because one of our buddies got married. So I said hi to everybody, but I didn't have enough time to really like be there and talk to him. Again, I wasn't that close. So it's always been this like, let's kick it, let's party relationship.
Yeah.
And I do know some people, I guess like now, in retrospect, like Ant and some people were telling me that what ended up happening was he was very depressed. And then when they would hang out and drink together, like he would get kind of a bit aggressive or uncontrollable with his alcohol. Yeah. And it wasn't always like that. He used to be a happy drunk. And I guess people stopped inviting him because he couldn't control his liquor.
Yeah, he was getting a little crazy with it.
And then he started thinking that people were talking shit about him. And it's like, no one's talking shit about you, bro. They just don't like the way that you can't handle your liquor and you get aggressive.
Yeah.
So they are, in that sense, talking shit, but like no one's literally saying like you're a fucking loser or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I think he's projecting his own insecurity, you know? And then so... I guess he stopped going out. He stopped going to events. He stopped hanging out with that group. He's just stayed home all day. And so people started visiting him. And then they're making sure he's all right. And they're like, oh, why don't you come to this baby shower? Why don't you come to this or whatever? And I guess this is my take on everything. We are getting older. We're at an age now where it's like, hey, we're starting to get into our careers. We're starting to make more money. You start to see the fruits of our labors from our 20s, right? So you start seeing all the guys in their 30s with homes and maybe a marriage with a kid, or you start to see all these things. So I think for him, he hasn't really checked off those bucket list things. So seeing all your friends do all this stuff maybe made him feel low in life.
That shit really fucks people up though. That age and that timeline thing.
Oh, 100%.
Because I got asked recently, and it's funny that you mentioned that. I got asked recently from this buddy of mine. He was an actor in Gook, and when I went to go when I was in New York for Ascend Foods, I grabbed a drink with him, and he asked me just throughout within the conversation, he asked me what did turning 30 feel like. Right, because he's a couple years younger than me. He goes, oh yeah, so, just give me a heads up about what it feels like to be 30 because I'm about to hit that mark.
Like it's a big pivotal moment.
Yeah, and so for me, I couldn't really grasp what that meant. And I guess for most people, it's kind of like how people celebrate holidays when they work a 9 to 5.
Oh yeah.
For us, it's just whatever, right? Because we're just working. Whether it's a holiday or not, it doesn't really make a damn difference.
Yeah.
And I think when people look at certain age marks, they feel like they have to hit certain milestones. And for me, I've never really felt that. And that's a lie. I did when I was younger. And then when I started, just basing my goals on when I wanted to finish things, I just felt a lot of pressure was relieved.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of dumb where they say, oh, why don't you have a house right now when you're at this age? Why aren't you married at this age? And how come you have to live by those timelines? Like I don't understand that.
It's a societal like unspoken rule kind of.
Yeah.
Like I also think that people always are comparing themselves to others to know where they're at life. And I'm like you too. Like I don't give a fuck about what other people are doing, but I realize that it's very important to a lot of people because that's how they check if they're fucking up or not. Like if they go, oh shit, you know what? Like all my friends are getting married. It's like, oh, am I fucking around too much? Maybe I should settle down. Yeah. Or like, they're like, oh, everyone's buying houses. Shit, is that the responsible thing to do? Maybe I should get one too. And if they don't get one, maybe they feel irresponsible. Yeah. So that's what I realized about that kind of mentality. It's like people are always trying to gauge their worth, their value, where they're at in this world. Are they a loser? Are they a winner? Like, there's a lot of that going on.
Yeah. I think the better thing for people to do is not to really do that, but just to always check on how happy you are, right?
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of people who have done that where they felt like they should be at a certain point in their life, for example, have a house, have a wife, have a kids, but they jumped into it way early and they're in this place that they don't want to be. They didn't want kids. They didn't want to settle down early. And then they start to feel regret because they were forced into this description of what they should be at a certain age, and they didn't get to live life the way that they wanted.
Yeah.
Because prior to me really figuring out who I am and figuring out what made me happy, all I could think about was getting married, having kids, and having that white picket fence and a house.
Because you thought that was happiness.
I really truly did.
And I think that's where everyone's at, is like they think, oh, if I got those things, I'd be happy.
Yeah. And not to say there aren't people out there who will get that and be happy. Like one of my friends, her husband now, his definition of happiness is to have a bunch of kids, settle down, play with these kids, and live in a house with his wife for the rest of his life.
Right.
And that's his definition. But that's just his definition.
Yeah. So yours all about, you're basically saying just align yourself with who you are and live that life. Yeah. Don't let other people tell you like what it should be. Even
with having kids.
Yeah.
If you don't want to have a kid, don't fucking have a kid.
Yeah,
you don't have to have a fucking kid. They're like, well, I want my legacy and my seed to live on. Says who, bitch?
Are you ready for what's coming?
Yeah, exactly. Like
that's true.
It's just a weird concept for me.
Yeah, because you know how I'm recently single, right? And I'm 35, and then like I do read shit like from people that are like, oh man, it must be so sad to be like that age and then like you're alone. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's one of the best feelings in the world.
Yeah. I mean, you were tied down in a relationship for fucking 5 years.
Yeah.
And you know, the latter half of it was you trying to figure out if this is going to work for you or not. And now you finally have that time and space to go back and work on yourself.
Exactly.
That's a fucking blessing. And a lot of people don't see it like that.
They don't. Yeah.
But I do.
Yeah. Well, it's because people think that being alone is loneliness.
Yeah.
And
it's not.
There's a difference between being single and alone and being a lonely person. I could be in a relationship and still feel lonely, which I did for the last year. But you can still feel like you could be alone and you can still be full of love and like warmth with people and family and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, is that because people are so dependent on the need for someone to love them that's why they look at my situation and go, oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I mean, it just goes back to like, you got to find what makes you happy, right? And then for me, I kind of like go wherever the wind blows. So I don't really have a set thing like, oh, like I always talk about how like, oh, if I have a farm and all this stuff, it's awesome. But it's a goal, and goals never make me happy. Like what makes me happy is my state of mind wherever I'm at. So wherever we go, if the thing that I expected didn't happen, it's like, oh well.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like I'm still fucking chilling.
Yeah, a huge part of what I enjoy about life is the journey and the process.
Yeah.
And like Mariel makes me happy. But I'm not gonna lie, there are times where I'm just like, damn, I just want to cut this fucking line and be free. And I'll be real too. Even Mariel feels like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Because Mariel was a very independent girl.
Yeah, and you're both very independent people.
Yeah. And so this stage of us being with each other all the time is new for both of us.
Yeah, and you're working it out.
Yeah.
And it's normal to have friction.
It fucking causes us to clash all the time, and we have to figure this out because, I mean, just as an example, because we want to move out of our current place.
Yeah.
Right. And then there was an argument that we had that kind of broke out because I think we just start to think about all the negative things that could happen when we move in together into another place again.
Oh.
It's like, oh, how are we going to decorate this place? She wants it a certain way. I want it a certain way. And no matter what, if it goes this way or that way, one of us is going to be unhappy.
Yeah.
Simply because we're so hyper independent and we want things our own way. It just, we tend to clash a lot.
Yeah.
And it's because she's always done things how she wanted, and because she lived by herself. And same thing for me. Even when I lived with roommates, I still got my way. And the reason why is because I paid the most rent. I paid the rent, I paid the utilities, I paid everything. Yeah. So, and I bought the furniture. So it was going to be my way. I just paid more money for it.
Yeah.
In this case, it doesn't work. Whether I pay for it or not, she's still going to have a fucking say. Yeah. Is what I found out.
The woman's going to win no matter what, dude.
I'm fucking fighting.
You know how they win? They just complain to the point where you can't take it anymore.
I don't fucking care.
Yeah. And then you just don't care anymore.
Yeah. It's hard, man.
That's how they win.
Dude, when I sometimes I see you, man, I'm like, look at this fucking free ass. You're like a bundle of feathers in the wind, dude. You just toss that bitch somewhere and just fucking floats and scatters where it goes. And I'm like, that used to be me. I used to just do whatever the fuck I wanted. And I said that shit around Mariel, and she goes, well, you could always leave me if you want.
But there's gonna be a shift. Like when you guys do figure this out, and then you can coexist. There's gonna be a shift where, like, if I am single in the next 20 years, right? Like you guys are gonna obviously have kids. You guys are gonna have like more to look forward to. And when all those things are kind of like said and done, then I'm going to be the lonely bastard that's like, I don't have anything to do or people to be with on Thanksgiving or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So, I think it's just a balance. There's got to be that in between. Or if I'm happy with being alone, like my brother, he knows exactly what he wants. He's like, I don't fucking like people. I already have enough friends. I'm cool and I'm done.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people like that. But I think when people do get unhappy is when you're trying to meet an expectation that doesn't really exist, make other people happy, you're afraid of other people talking shit or whatever. I think that's what drives people into this like crazy, place in their head. Yeah.
That's true though. When that shift happens, my mom kind of put it like this because, I kind of just, I talk to her a lot.
Yeah.
And I asked her, how would you feel if I said that I didn't want any kids at all?
Yeah.
I just don't want kids. And, of course she kind of felt a little weird about it. But
she's
then
like, you're testing me, David.
Yeah. She's like, son of a bitchy. She goes, I want a grandchildren, you kiss a kid. But what she said is this, she goes, the reason why I think people want to have kids or why you should have kids is because you're thinking about yourself right now and how happy you are without the stress of having children. It's because right now you can find purpose in everything that you do, right? So whether you're doing a new business venture, you're working on new projects, that's where your purpose lies. She goes, you'll be surprised towards the end of your life when you have said and done majority of the things that you want, you're going to wonder, where should you place your attention? Like, where does your hopes and dreams go to? And if you don't have kids, a lot of people feel like your hopes and dreams dies with everything that you've done, but that's what your kids have. And so you, as an old person, she goes, for me, I don't live for myself anymore. She goes, I'm healthy and I'm happy now because I've seen what I've done with you, and I'm living out the rest of my days to see what happens with you. And that's what makes me excited. She goes, there's a point too where you feel lonely. She goes, what if you go up and then your dad dies? I still have you.
Yeah.
I still have your brother.
Yeah.
There's always a community to come and help you out. And she goes, that's why I think it's important to have kids.
That's
it also
true.
helps you grow and learn new things. And it's another chapter in your life. Like don't picture it as your life ending, but it's just a new chapter opening.
Yeah.
It's just a new story that begins.
Yeah. I've heard that from a lot of people where it's like, oh, one of the best joys in life is just kids. And I'm like, that's fucking awesome. Thank God I'm a man, dude. I could be 50 years old and I could
bust
fucking,
nuts.
yeah, and I can have a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't be able to see them grow as old as maybe if I started now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I don't know. I mean, I think right now it's just not even a goal of mine to have a kid.
Yeah, having a kid, I'm not gonna lie. Like I do want a kid, but having a kid scares me, man. It scares the living fucking shit out of me.
When we were in Hawaii, we saw all of our friends with kids, and it was like, holy mother crap time.
Dog, like just watching Bart, Gio, and Christina, and how beat up they fucking look, just trying to take. I mean, they were having fun too, but just to have a kid, wash him off every time he's at the beach, make sure that he's not running around touching shit, and you just see how exhausted and tired that they are. I'm like, that's not me. If I go on vacation, fuck those kids. They're staying back at home with grandma and grandpa. You're not coming.
It's a vacation. I'm coming back looking like I slept.
Yeah, because even for us too, Like, I mean, it was a short trip, and I love having Barchu and all them around, but it definitely wasn't the vacation it was supposed to be because there were kids there.
Yeah.
And so we have to make adjustments for that as well. And we don't have kids. So I can only imagine what it's like for them.
24/7. They can't leave it.
7. Yeah.
It's not like a dog.
Yeah.
A dog could fucking take care of himself. You just put some food.
And they're good to go.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, I'll let you go pee.
Yeah, like I think until like the kids maybe like 8 or 9 years old, then I might take them traveling. Because before then, I ain't trying to deal with that shit.
It's pretty rough.
Yeah, man. Like just
unless that's all you're doing. I think it's because of our lifestyle. Like work is all around us 24/7. We don't separate all this stuff. It's all kind of gray area.
I don't know if I could give up my lifestyle right now.
Yeah.
Even though it's stressful and it's a lot of work.
And you travel a lot too.
Oh, yeah,
You're getting that out of your system.
The moment I have a kid, this traveling's cutting out.
Yeah.
I can't leave Meryl with the kid alone. She'll fucking die.
Yeah.
She'll suffer from that shit.
So you got to get it out of your system before you do it.
I got 2 years, man, where I just got to go to Thailand and get my dick sucked or something.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm going to be doing now is just traveling a
Your
lot.
dick sucked in Thailand. Yo, I always hear the best things about, well, I don't know how people feel about this, but prostitution is pretty high in a lot of these other countries. And everybody tells me.
Really?
You know that scene in Rush Hour? I heard that shit's like for real. Like
when
legit.
the girls come out and then you pick them?
And you pick them out. I heard that shit's legit.
It is legit. I've done that here in America.
Okay. What do you mean, China, dog? You can do it. It hit bad eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard
real.
It's some fucking crazy shit when I saw that. This podcast is brought to you by Purple, baby. If you haven't heard of Purple, then I feel bad for you, son, because you got 99 back problems, and yes, a back problem is one. So I've been using a Purple mattress for quite a while now, and I got to tell you, before this Purple mattress, my friends, I was dealing with a lot of back pain. And on top of back pain, I was dealing with sleeping super hot. The material that a Purple mattress is made out of is developed by rocket scientists. That's how future it is, son. Probably the best sleeps I've ever had in my life because of this Purple mattress, because it's firm and soft at the same time. And I don't know if you guys realize this, but how you sleep and the comfort in your sleep matters a lot, because you actually spend a good chunk of your life sleeping, if you don't realize that. For some people, it's an average of 5 to 6, and some people it's like 7 to 9. That's a fat chunk out of your 24-hour day. So if you are going to spend that time sleeping, make sure that you do it right, because a good night's sleep is super important, and Purple literally and figuratively has your back. So you're going to love Purple, and right now, my listeners will get a free Purple pillow with the purchase of a mattress. That's in addition to the great free gifts they're offering site-wide. Just text BRAIN to 84-888. The only way to get this free pillow is to text BRAIN to 84-888. That's BRAIN to 84888.
And I mean, I've done it with the ladies of the nights, but then it's not the same. Well, okay, so maybe what gets me off is different from other people. I like it when there's a game to it. I like to win, and I like it when the girl likes me. So then I realize that I will sometimes I'll have better sex with a less attractive girl
that likes you more.
Yes, than a girl that's just like, fuck it, let's just one night stand, but she's not like, she's super hot, but maybe like she's not that into me, but then that energy isn't there. So when I was younger, I just fuck everything and anything. And then I started to realize like there was a difference to it all. There's like different levels. And I mean, that's probably what girls experience from the beginning. That's why they're like, they want an emotional connection or some shit, you know? Cause it's just a better experience overall.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I just having those situations. I wonder if I was still single and I went to fucking like Singapore and Malaysia. I'm like, I'm gonna go to one of these brothels just because I want to know what's up.
It's pretty crazy though. Like just to have them walk out and you're just like, oh my god, like I could choose any and I don't have to like court them. I don't have to like hope that they like me and ask them out on a date. Like it's just. bam, bam. And then I'm feeling like, wait, like, can we talk or some shit? Like, can we just like get to know each other just like 2 minutes? Like, fuck. Cause they're hella quick. Cause they're like, bam, bam, bam. I need to get this money.
Yeah.
You know, cause it's the quicker you come and the quicker that they do this shit.
They could do another round.
Yeah. But it's so transactional, man. Like I feel it's weird. It's not. Yeah.
Do they have the equivalent for women? Like guys will jack off a girl?
I don't know.
It doesn't seem like something like a woman would do.
Yeah, I don't think so. And I mean, it better be like top notch or some shit.
I mean, I read this Cosmo article. I was reading a Cosmopolitan article. I think it was Cosmo, but it was a magazine that was generally geared towards women, and it could have been a Maxim. I don't fucking know, but it was an article about a girl. About a reporter, not just a girl, a reporter, and she was trying to get a jack-off massage for her.
For herself.
Yeah, and so
from a guy.
So she was writing about the experience, about how difficult it is to find a place that does jack-off massages for women.
Oh my God.
And so she was kind of writing down what the signals are for what you have to look for at a place to know if they'll do it or not.
Guys would be like, I don't even know if you want it this way.
Yeah. And so she I forgot what it was. There was like one signal where if they come up and they brush your thigh or your leg, that's a sign that they'll do it for you.
Oh.
But she got denied at 3 or 4 places before she finally found a place that would do it for her.
She's like at Massage Envy and shit. And they're like, this is a reputable fucking organization. If I was a guy massage like therapist, I'd be kind of, oh, is this a trap?
Yeah.
Because it's just so weird. No women really ask for that shit, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, wait, then I don't have to pay you and I can play with your pussy? Like, what?
Yeah. You got to go to those spots that just says massage and there's just a neon foot.
Oh my God.
It's like a neon foot where it's like a foot massage. I heard the tip was if a place has closed doors, that's a sign that they'll do it.
Really?
That's like the first sign that they'll do it is if you go into like a seedy looking place and they have closed doors, you can't. If there's only curtains, then no.
Wow.
So that's like one of the signs that you'll get like a jack off massage or some shit like that.
That's crazy. We know someone who likes to frequent those.
I know.
Very frequently. Very, very much.
There's some fucking funny ass stories about those things too, and you'd be surprised how many jack off places are in California.
There's a lot.
A shit ton. I actually don't know why it's illegal.
I don't know either.
Because it's not penetration or anything.
They should legalize it though, because then it'll be cleaner.
Yeah, at least I think I wouldn't be creeped out if it was the hand job part. Not for me per se, but if there was an establishment that said foot, neck, back, dick, I don't think that's any different. Like
in Japan, it's all legal except penetration. That's why they have the soap lands. That where the girl just fucking covers herself in soap and then she slides up and down your body with hers. Yeah.
Is that supposed to feel good?
I guess it's pretty slippery. I never been.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, like we were out there and then they would have like a bar and the bar would say blowjob and we're like, what? And I looked it up. And it's like you could literally drink beer while you get your dick sucked, or like there's all these other things. And I'm like, this is crazy.
I forgot, because we go through that little rabbit hole and shit.
Yeah.
It was the same time that I was reading that Cosmo article. But I was reading something about those blowjob bars. I heard foreigners aren't allowed in there.
Oh.
Like foreigners, majority of those blowjob bars, like foreigners, they'll deny a lot of foreigners.
Yeah.
But if you are like a Japanese person or Japanese citizen, it's okay. But they're just sitting at the bar stool and there's like this curtain over and you sit down.
And you're talking with your friends and you're drinking beer?
And then you're getting your dick sucked as you're drinking a fucking beer.
Wow.
Which I would think is weird because you would get whiskey dick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forgot what the fuck I was reading. I don't know how I got to this thing, but there was an interview with one of those sex workers.
Wow.
Yeah, and just kind of like the process behind it too. But Japan's fucking insane with that
is.
shit. Korea has a whole row of this area in Korea.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's at, but
and it's legal?
It's legal prostitution.
Wow.
From what I remember, but there's just a lot of these like love hotels as they call them.
Yeah.
And like businessmen just go in there to get their dick sucked and fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I might try it like if I'm traveling and if it's there. Like if it's legal in that country.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to, the thing I'm scared about is like the
sex
whole
trafficking.
Yeah, it's hella sad. Like that shit could turn sad easily.
Yeah.
But then when you see like in Amsterdam or like when women are more like, yeah, fuck yeah, confident about it, like I think that's a turn on to me too. Like when you go to the strip club at Vegas or whatever, like they're more like, I'm doing this. Like, this is my shit. That's very different.
Yeah, because in Amsterdam, it's like taxed and everything.
Yeah.
It's an actual business.
Yeah, and I think at that point, I wouldn't be like, I don't want that thought in the back of my head.
This
like,
person's a slave.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Dick will just go soft.
Yeah, and then, but if it's like, nah, like this is their profession, they fucking signed up for it, and they're like owning it,
They get benefits, their taxes.
then I feel like cool, like they signed up for this. You know, it's very different.
Oh, I know for a fact, whenever I go to Asia and I'm in an area and I see a bunch of fucking fat white dudes, I know what you're there for. You're trying to get your dick sucked by a little teenager, you little sick fuck.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. So like, I like Asian American girls. Like, I don't really find Asian girls in Asia that like attractive.
Yeah, the standard is different. Remember that whole Simu Liu article about what they found?
Yeah.
Like, they don't find like Simu attractive, but if you ask an Asian American girl, a lot of girls think he's really hot.
Yeah, so it's a different taste. Cause I think like the girls out there, they look really cute, you know, like
Little children.
Yeah, I feel like they're too cute to where it's like I got molester vibe. Yeah,
there's no sex appeal.
But then the girls here, their sex appeal, they're sexy, or they're not just cute, but there's like other parts of it. They look like more like women to me.
I think it's also because of the type of women that we grew up around. They're a lot more curvaceous, and that's the women that I think typically that we find physically really attractive.
That's true.
Because
so then even if there was like hot girls that are like, I guess like ladies of the night or whatever in Asia, I don't think I'd go for it.
Yeah, and there's like a bunch of Asian like beauty bloggers, and I've had a conversation with a couple of my girlfriends where they're like, "Oh, you know this Asian beauty blogger and whatever," and they go, oh, "Isn't she so like hot?" Like as a girl judging another girl.
Yeah.
And I look at them and I'm like, that is not hot. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean hot? And they're like, no, she's super pretty. I was like, yeah, maybe for like a fucking 12-year-old. You know, because they're makeup gurus, right? So what they're based on is like their face is really pretty.
Yeah.
But, you know, and this is not a knock on them. This is just a preference. I mean, obviously guys fawn over them, but for my taste and preference, no. Like, there's no
it just
need.
depends on the guy.
Yeah, I think a lot of Asian female bloggers for depending in comparison to a lot of the women that I grew up around, they're just a little too thin for what I like. You know, physically speaking. Yeah. Right. So what I find, you know, thicker, more curvaceous women more attractive.
And then the guys that probably see the girls that we're attracted to would be like, oh, they're fat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all preference.
It's like taste and preference.
Yeah.
Because sometimes like when I'm not going to name names, but you know, there was like one Asian beauty blogger that everybody loves and like, yo, she's so hot. I'm like, in what way, bro? Like her thighs and her calves are the same size, but some people fuck with that, dude.
Yeah.
Asian
especially
people love that
in
shit.
Asia.
Yeah.
They love that fucking thin, man. Yeah. And I'm like, bro, like I need some titties, man. Well, I mean like some, you know, like, but speed bumps at least.
They like that famine body, dude.
They want that rib, dude. I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
Dog, I know exactly what you're talking about.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
And it, man.
There's nothing to grab. Like, what do you grab it?
Yeah, and it's sad because I don't know if the girls are like, if they just naturally don't eat that much out there, or like, or they're forced to believe that they gotta stay this way to be pretty and all that shit. And I'm like, girl, man, somebody give you a dumpling or something. God damn.
Yeah, they just don't look physically capable.
Yeah.
Right?
It's that foot binding shit, man. Yeah.
It's the same thing for like,
I need a girl that could fucking pull a rickshaw and shit, dude. Hell yeah, dude.
That bitch got a boulder on her back. She got the fucking long stick with the 2 fucking baskets of rice.
I know. Give me one of those peasant girls, man. Can't fuck with no fucking royalty. They're too skinny.
I think the girls that I think physically I find attractive, I think a lot of people find them maybe too fat.
Maybe.
They're like, yo, they're too fat. I'm like, what fucking world is that too fat? Like for example, Mariel, she used to not like her legs and her calves.
Why?
I think she thought they were too fat because she grew up with a lot of like Korean people, but they're muscular, they're nice and toned.
She looks athletic.
Exactly, and that's what I like. And so it's so funny. That's what I like. Even when I was like 270 pounds, I was like, I like athletic women. But and when she was younger, she didn't like those things because she wanted the thigh gap, she wanted the thin legs because the girls around her. And I think she grew up in Diamond Bar, Chino Hills area or something, and I think a lot of guys found those thick, skinny girls really cute.
No wonder girls are so fucked about how they should look. Cause they don't. It's like they have their own standard, like within girls. You know how like they have a whole different set of what they think is beautiful, and then you have guys with so many different preferences, right? So then like they might go like, oh, I'm crushing on this guy, but then his preference might be like, you know, something like long ass legs. You know, like he might like girls that are like way more thicker or whatever.
You know what, man? Just fucking do you.
That's
man.
what I'm saying.
Just do you. You'll find somebody that'll find like the worst qualities about you attractive.
Yep.
And my best example is this. When I take photos of people, it's funny how people are so selective about the way that they look, right? Because I like taking pictures of people when they're not posing and when they're not looking, specifically because it just kind of shows a side to them that other people can't see.
The candid ones.
The very candid ones, right? Just kind of them in their element. And a lot of people hate those photos that I take of them.
Why?
I think because
I like the photos you take.
because they want to pose. They want to pose and they want to show a side that
I want you to show my double chin.
They want people to see a side that they personally feel is attractive, but you don't know the beauty that somebody else sees in you, right?
That's true.
Because they're so critical. Because we're so critical of ourselves. They go because a lot of the times, like I'll post a picture, right, and they'll be okay with it. And they go, that wasn't my favorite picture.
Oh, they wouldn't say, take it down, David. It shows my fucking blemishes.
No, but they're okay with it after they read the comments and they're like, yo, this is a beautiful picture, but they just don't see it. You know, so how you perceive yourself and how the rest of the world perceives you might be different because you're not going to love all the qualities that everybody else loves about you because you just don't. You're so critical of yourself.
Yeah.
And you're right, especially for a girl, there's certain standards that you have to have because nobody, if I use this as an example in terms of comedy, when a guy does like a really dumb and goofy face, I think it gets more interaction and a lot more likes because of how hilarious it is. But if a girl does it, sometimes it won't get as much interaction as a fine girl with like a fat ass or a fine ass body and she's half naked.
Yeah.
Even though the comedy's the same as the guy will get more likes and there's more interaction with that because that's what they expect out of them. Because a lot of the times with girls, especially on a visual platform, they're only expecting them to look pretty and not really have a brain.
Yeah.
And that's not what they're really looking for when they follow them either. So I think that's just my example of how hard it is sometimes to be a girl because but sometimes when you want people to recognize you for other things, it kind of gets outshined just by how you physically look.
I think it depends on how it starts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if they started being a bikini model and all of a sudden they want to put on clothes and start talking about politics and shit, it's like, girl,
I just jack off to you, man.
Yeah. We got off on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
You can't be making me horny and then making me want to vote afterwards. Like
it's the other way around too. Like I'm not making anybody horny.
Yeah.
It'd be the weirdest thing if I did.
Right?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So if we started off, I think it's just attractive people in general. Because like if guys are out there being attractive and that's all they did, and all of a sudden they want to do something else like stand-up comedy, that fool's gonna get fucking roasted.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be accepted with open arms.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, stick to modeling, fool. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. It's perception of what you started with.
Yeah.
And it's what. Yeah, that's the hard part because if you kind of put yourself out as something that got you really popular, and then you do that shift, people haven't really subscribed to that. You know, it's the same problem.
Like I came here to jack off, not to listen to your thoughts.
Yeah. Oh shit. Well, that's actually fuck. I always do this. We had a topic and a question to get into.
Let's do that on the next video.
Yeah, we'll do it on the next podcast. All right. Well, you guys could catch us. You guys could catch us on all the audio platforms. We're talking about Spotify and iTunes. If you see us on iTunes, make sure you give us that 5-star. And remember, this podcast is a podcast about anything and everything. And we're just here to be with you on your everyday commute when you work, or if you just want somebody to talk your fucking ear off. Yeah, Joe.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. You want to... and watch out for fucking Danger Boys, baby.
Danger Boys, we're going to try to do a tour, and the only way you can see it is live.
Oh, shit.
That's the only way.
And then you guys are going to screen it. Oh, dude. That's going to be fucking fun, man.
Hell yeah.
Cool. All right, Joe. We'll see y'all next time.
Peace.
Peace.